Hi, how you doing? Today I'm just going to make a very simple sweet and sour pork dish. Very easy to make, standard from your normal Chinese, your favorite dish. Obviously you can switch out the pork for chicken or for tofu. Okay, so the standard things we're going to need here is obviously a wok. We're going to need two bowls for the sauces we're going to make. Ingredients wise, very straightforward. Pineapple, you can buy a full pineapple and cut it up yourself, but you might as well buy the pineapple chunks, it's already done. You're going to need some white rice vinegar, sesame oil, a light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, tomato ketchup, corn flour, brown sugar, or you can use white sugar, it's up to you. One egg. I've already chopped up a lot of the ingredients already to move things on. Onions, you can go with white or red, whatever you want, as long as they're cut up evenly in chunks. A orange pepper, once again cut up evenly in chunks. I've done a little bit of spring onion, which I'm going to use later for garnish, and obviously the pork. As I said, you can substitute that for chicken. You can even actually do fish if you wanted to, but chicken, tofu, pork, whatever you want. We're also going to garnish that up with a little bit of fresh coriander towards the end. So to start with, I've put in 1 tablespoon of the light soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of the sesame oil, and what we call a chef's pinch of sugar. We're going to add the pork, chicken, or whatever you have. Going to add that into the bowl. I'm then going to put a generous amount of corn flour in there. The corn flour, you need to put quite a bit in there, because the idea, what we want to do is each one of those pieces that are here, we want every one of them to be covered finely but not stuck together, and you'll see what I mean when I'm doing it. So when we've put it in, we've mixed it all up, I should be able to take out every individual piece and they are on their own. They're nice and separate and ready to go in to be fried. So as you can see, what I've done is I've mixed the pork in with the sauce. I'm going to add an egg, mix it again with my hands, and then add the corn flour. Okay, make sure in between each mixing that you wash your hands. So I've now mixed my pork and my corn flour with the sauce together. And as you see, every piece should be nice and separate like this. Completely nice and coated. And that is really, really good and ready for the deep frying. So next we're going to prepare the sweet and sour sauce itself that's going to go into our dish. Very easy to make, not many ingredients. Tablespoon of sugar. 3 tablespoons of the white rice vinegar, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, and then 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dark soy sauce. Once all mixed together, we should have a nice dark rich sauce. The sugar will caramelize. Just keep stirring it. Give it a good minute. Really give it a good stir. Okay. Once that's done, leave that to one side, and that's ready for a little bit later on. Now what we're going to do, we are going to put some oil in our wok. So I have put my oil in. As you can see, it's about 2 centimeters of oil in there. Always use something like sunflower oil. Olive oil is not very good for deep frying. You'll end up just wasting the oil. There's really no need. It won't get hot enough for what you need. I've got it on a high flame at the moment to get the temp up. I've also got a pan with some kitchen roll in there ready for when I take the chicken out, because you want to be able to put it on some tissue for the oil, etc., to drain off. A nice way of testing to see if the oil is ready, and if you just take a skewer or anything wooden basically, put it in the oil and see whether or not it's bubbling. So at the moment there's not really any real movement there. So it's not hot enough. We're going to test the oil again, see if it's ready. And if you can see that, there is clear bubbles around the wood. That's telling me this is hot enough and it's ready to go. So very, very gently, and be careful when you're doing this, lay in your chicken pieces one at a time. Try and keep them separated. If you can, use a strainer to put them in. It does make it a little bit easier. I'm happy to put them in with my fingers. Okay, this has been cooking for about 7-8 minutes. You can see already it's starting to get nice and brown in areas. I actually think this is pretty much ready to come out. Yep, that looks really nice and brown and crispy. So I'm going to start taking it out. I'm going to place it onto my tray. And then once that's done, we're going to start the second stage of the cooking. Okay, delicious. These actually are just edible just on their own. Yeah, I could just quite easily. Oh my god, this is a mouthful. Sorry about that. I can just quite easily eat these without anything else. They're great. All right, so one other thing I want to say, please, I'm sure you're aware, do not throw the excess oil down your sink. It will clog your sink. Either have an oil pan somewhere you can put the oil, or if you have a garden, at the back of the garden, pour the oil in there. Yeah, don't throw it down your sink or down your toilet. It really will clog your toilet or sink up. All right, so moving on, I'm using the same pan. It's already got a little bit of oil in there, so it's ready to go. It's already warm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, first of all, the orange peppers. The orange peppers are slightly harder, as in they're going to take a little bit more longer to cook through than the onions. So we're literally going to put those through. Once again, I'm always going to go on the health tip, but please make sure you've washed your hands and that sort of thing. Especially if you're cooking for other people. When you put the peppers in, it's a great opportunity because they take a little bit of time, but it's a great opportunity for you to learn what I call the wok toss. Okay, which is really literally you're just running it back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. But it's a really great way to make sure that the food is being cooked evenly, and yeah, and it's fun and it looks good. Hey, why not? So keep doing that for a little bit. I'm actually holding the phone in my hand, so I'm doing my best until my tripod arrives, hopefully in a couple of days. So I'm doing my best to try and do this on the fly with you. And as sweet and sour is very, very quick to make as far as the final bits are concerned, I'm going to try and do this on the fly with you. Okay, so my peppers are looking really good. So now I'm going to chuck in my onions. So we're going to leave that. We're going to let that simmer for a little bit. And then in a moment, I'm then going to put in the pineapples, which is actually my favourite bit of sweet and sour. I love pineapples. So keep that moving. As long as it's sizzling, you're on the right path. I'm going to add in some pineapple now. So I'm just going to start throwing in a little bit of the pineapple. I don't really want to tip it from the tin because I don't want all the juices in there. So a generous amount of pineapple, depending on how you like it. For me, sweet and sour, it's always been about the pineapple. Really love that taste. So now I'm just going to keep mixing that up really, really nicely. As I say, just try and keep it mixed. It's really coming along now. So in a minute, we're going to actually add the sauce. Okay, now we've got everything lovely and mixed. Everything's cooked perfectly. It's really good. Beautiful little dish. We're ready to plate this up. Now, as I said, normally you do this with some rice, maybe even with some noodles if you wanted to. I haven't done any rice tonight. I've kind of not bothered out. I want to show you more on the style of the cooking. If you want to add rice, noodles, vegetables, whatever you want, obviously you can add that in afterwards. So I'm just going to plate some of this up in a little bowl, have a little taste, and yeah, see how it is. I've literally garnished it a little bit with some spring onions that I cut up earlier. A little bit of coriander, always goes down well. Garnished it up. I'm going to have a little taste myself, a little bit of the pineapple, a little bit of the pork. Nice. Really nice. You don't even really need to have any rice and stuff with this, but put a little bit of rice with it. Oh, amazing meal. Really hope you enjoy. I hope you try the dishes. Hope you're enjoying the channel.